Hey guys, okay, so getting right into the tutorial. I have my wig on. This is a Danny wig from Arta in the shade Titanium. Also, I tried this makeup the day before and it stained my eyelids a bit. Just thought I would let everyone know. Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you to today's sponsor, which is Coastal Scents. Thank you so much for sending me the products for this video. I actually first tried Coastal Scents years ago when Michelle Phan was still like the head of Ipsy, and I had the monthly glam bags coming in, and one of them had a brush, which I still have and I'm going to use in this video. I'm going to be starting off with this brow code pencil. Any brow product will work. I'm just trying to make my brows a bit more arched and thinner than they usually are. I'm following the natural shape of my eyebrow, but trying to make it a bit thinner and a bit more arched. I'm also trying to make them look a bit darker and harsher than usual because I feel like it goes with a more cartoony look. And then I'm just going to carve out the under part of my brow with Shape Tape concealer, and then I'm going to drag that down onto the lid and use it as a primer. Also, I already applied foundation before this video. It's Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter Foundation in this shade 3 Cool, I believe. Now I'm just blending that concealer with a MAC 217. Also, if my skin is really flaky, it's because I'm on Differin and my skin is a bit flaky from it right now, so just ignore that. I'm going to be using the Coastal Scents Revealed Rouge palette. It kind of looks like the Naked Heat palette by Urban Decay. I'm going to be going in with the shade Raspberry and Crave. Okay, so I'm not going to be putting my eyeshadow into the crease. That's where my crease is. I'm going to be putting it into the hollows of my eyes, and where I'm poking around there, that's where the hollows are. Because I have more hooded eyelids, and this is going to be like a cut crease halo look, I'm going to be placing the eyeshadow much higher than my natural crease. So taking those two colors, I'm just taking a big fluffy brush and blending it all over, but making sure that there is a color in the outer and inner corners of my eyes. So you want to make sure you take that color pretty high, because once you cut the crease, you won't see it if it's not high enough. So I just wanted to mention that I'm not a big fan of the Revealed palettes. I like a few of them, but I found a few of the others didn't have enough dark colors in them to create a full look. So I would have appreciated darker colors, especially because somebody with a deeper complexion than me can't create any look. Now I'm going in with the Winterberry palette, and these are all shimmery shades, by the way, which seems weird, but it actually looks really good. I'm going in with the shade Tyrian Purple. I would call the shade like a traditional grape tone, maybe like a shimmery eggplant. I don't know. If you're going for a more natural Elsa look, like you just want to do some shadow and a liner, then I think this shade would be perfect for that. So I'm just applying that where I applied the cranberry shade earlier. And taking this black shade from the Revealed 2 palette, and I'm going to apply it where I think I'm going to cut the crease roughly. So it's going to go in the socket. So I'm making weird shapes with my eyes because I'm trying to kind of get an idea where I'm going to cut the crease. So I'm just taking a slanted liner brush and applying that in a line in the middle of my eye. And I'm blending that out with the shade Raisin Berry. It's like a shimmery cranberry tone. And the reason I put black is because I want to give it dimension. And once I apply these tones over it, these purples and cranberries, it's going to really change the look from a black to like a deep purple. I'm just tapping my brush into the shade and then tapping that onto my hand so I don't apply too much, and then just blending out that line. I only applied the line to the middle of the eye because then it gives me space to blend. So I'm blending that out and then blending that on the outer V as well to take it into like a V shaped on the outer edge. And then just going back in with that bigger blending brush I used earlier to blend the edges. Now I'm taking that Raisin Berry shade again and packing that onto the outer and inner corners because it's really important you have color there when you're doing a halo eye. Now I'm going in with the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer in Whiteout. You can use any concealer or eyeshadow base. I'm applying it on the lash line and then looking up. If you have hooded or slightly hooded eyes like me, this is the best method, in my opinion, to do a cut crease. When you look up, it transfers the concealer and it shows you exactly where you need to cut the crease. So I'm just dragging that line down, and then I'm taking a rounded concealer brush and just applying that concealer and cutting the crease about, I would say, the center of my eye, and leaving a small portion open on the inner and outer corners. Now I'm just filling the middle of the eye in with the concealer. I'm tapping it so that it doesn't look too harsh. So now I'm going in with the shade Amethyst and Silver Lilac, starting out with Amethyst, patting it onto the outer and inner corners of my eye, and patting and blending it into that cranberry shade. Now I'm going in with the Silver Lilac shade, and you want to make sure you completely cover that concealer with the purple. Now I'm going in with Raisin Berry with that same brush and applying a bit more on the outer and inner corners. I find going in with the lighter purples first is better because then you get a better idea of where you need to add darkness later. So now I'm taking a Coastal Scents brush and I'm just packing more of the cranberry in the inner and outer corners. I just find that this brush applies more color than the other brush. Now I'm going back in with the black shade and just relining the top portion of the cut crease. But do not go below the concealer, go right above it, because if you go on the concealer, it'll lighten the black. Also, don't go past the cut crease line, don't go past the line of the concealer because it'll look really weird. So now just going back in with a MAC 217 and holding the brush at an upper angle so that the tip of the brush is touching the black and then the rest of the brush is blending that out. And I'm going back in with those cranberry shades just to further add some color and blend out that black a little bit. And back in with that big blending brush and just further blending out the edges. It's okay if the brush touches the eyebrows. Now going in with the shade White Silver and just applying it down the center of my eyelid to just make it pop a bit more. Now back in with that black shadow, I'm using it as a liner and I'm just going about halfway on the outer thirds of my eye into a smallish wing. I'm pressing and kind of pulling upwards, if that makes sense, to do a blended winged liner look. Now I kind of forgot to do this, but normally when I put on false lashes, I'll put a thin line all over just to blend the lash band, and I totally forgot to do this. Going back in with that 217 brush, I'm not taking any extra color, just whatever is left on it, and connecting the bottom lash line eyeshadow to the top. And going in with that black liner again and connecting the bottom lash line to the top of the wing. You don't want the wing and the bottom eyeshadow and eyeliner to have a gap, so make sure you connect it. I also applied some white liner off camera to the waterline. I'm going in with my concealer and this BH Cosmetics, it looks like a mini stippling brush. I'm just putting it on the under eyes and taking it down the nose and on the chin. And just blending the edges with my MAC 217 for concealer. This is not the same one I used on the eyes. I have a few of these brushes. And covering any spots with some Tarte Shape Tape. And now I'm just putting on a half set of some random winged shaped lashes that I have. I don't want to put on huge lashes because of the shape of my eyes and because I don't want it to cover the eyeshadow. Now I'm just going in with a clean blending brush and blending the edges where the concealer meets the eyeshadow. So now I'm just going in with my Glossier Boy Brow in brown to set the eyebrows and keep them in place and add a bit of extra color. And I'm doing this technique I saw on a cosplayer's video. I think it was Hendu or Hendo Art. I'm going to link her down below on how to do fake freckles. It's probably the best technique I've ever seen, to be honest. It looks not very good right now, but if you do it with the right type of brow gel, it looks good. But right now, it just looks like I'm giving myself extra acne scars. Now I'm just quickly contouring my nose. I'm taking this Blush 2 palette and taking a slightly darker pink blush on the cheekbones and a lighter pink blush for the apples. I normally don't like to put it on the apples of my cheeks, but I feel like Elsa embraces the kind of chubby cheek look, and I'm putting a bit on my chin and forehead because she does have a pinker toned skin. And I'm putting a lot of blush on the tip of the nose. And I'm just taking some of that blush and adding it onto the crease just to kind of help tie in the look. And I'm taking this Kylie Loose Highlighter in the shade Queen. I think it's Discontinued. I'm pretty sure it's Discontinued. And I'm just going in on the cheekbones. And I'm trying to make it really highlighted because I just feel like Elsa would have really highlighted skin. I'm adding it to the Cupid's bow and the tip of the nose. And the inner corners of my eyes. I accidentally put too much on, so it started to drop down. That's why I made a really weird face. So I'm applying it to the center of my eyelids as well, just to give it some extra glitter. And taking the shade Kristen by Kylie. It's like a strawberry cranberry color. I'm just using the lip liner, by the way. And then going in with the shade Bombshell Red by Revlon. I'd say it's more of like a pinky red kind of. And I'm just dabbing that onto the lips to mix the colors. I don't want it full on. And yeah, that is the look. I hope you guys enjoy it.